Dear friends, good morning on Monday the 5th of October. Can I ask you today, are you a Martha or a Mary? You'll probably remember the story of Jesus at Martha and Mary's house in Luke chapter 10. Practical Martha is distracted by all the preparations that have to be made for such an honoured guest, while dreamy Mary sits at Jesus' feet listening to him teaching. Martha, feeling sorry for herself, petulantly says to Jesus, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." Only to get the reply, Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. It's in response to this story that some people conclude that there are either Marthas, practical, task-focused types, or Marys, spiritual, prayer-focused types. I think this is a dangerously false distinction. The account of Jesus at the sister's home comes straight after the parable of the Good Samaritan, in which Jesus responds to the lawyer's question, "Who is my neighbour?" The spiritual people, the priest and the Levite, pass by on the other side of the road, when they should be showing practical care and concern for the man lying in a pool of blood. The unspiritual, despised Samaritan is the only one who loves his neighbour by taking pity on him, bandaging his wounds, and paying for him to be looked after by the innkeeper. This shows us that we must not excuse our lack of practical action, especially when our neighbour is in need, because we're spiritual rather than practical people. Now, when we put these two accounts together, Martha and Mary and the Good Samaritan, we see that Jesus does want us to be spiritual people, to sit at his feet and listen to him. We must find a way of doing this in our busy lives, getting into really good spiritual disciplines of intentional devotion to Jesus in Bible reading and prayer. But there is no point in doing that unless our devotion results in practical action, reaching out to those who are in spiritual and physical need. As Jesus says to the lawyer, the way to inherit eternal life is to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and to love your neighbour as yourself. So we are to be Marthas and we are to be Marys. So what does this mean for us during the autumn and winter? Well, it looks like we're going to be in some sort of lockdown for the foreseeable future. Rather than giving in to defeat and despair and retreating from the world and from the church, we need to get on the front foot, spiritually and practically. So what are you going to do to sustain your spiritual life over the next few months? There are so many good resources available to us, but let me just mention one. I don't use it by myself, but I have friends who are really enjoying an app called Lectio 365, which has been put together by Pete Greig of 24/7 Prayer and others. Why not give it a try if you're looking for inspiration? You can find a link to it on today's daily update. And as for practical action to love our neighbours, we've got a great idea for harvest, which I'm going to tell you about on Wednesday. God bless you today.